No, I never knew my grandmother.
Oh, you didn't know her?
No.
So when were you born? You were born. When were you born?
I was born at the caves. I was living out there when I was born.
You were born in 1908. You were born in 1908, is that right?
That's what I thought I was all along.
Yeah.
And they reckon I was born in 1909.
Oh, 1909, because you're Charlotte, August Charlotte died in 1904. Yeah, you weren't born. You never knew her.
Yeah, well,
but did your mother ever tell you stories about her?
Pardon?
Did your mother ever tell you stories about her mother?
Her mother, no.
No? Oh, okay.
I knew nothing about my grandmother.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay, yeah. Well, she was 6 years old. When she came out.
She was what?
She was 6 years old when they came out. No, sorry, your mother. Your mother was 6 years old when they came out on the boat from Germany. Yes. She was born in Germany.
Yes.
Yeah. And
what's that place on the corner on the
Luxembourg.
France and Germany. She was on the border there. What is that?
Luxembourg.
Was it Luxembourg?
Luxembourg, yes.
She was from that area?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it was on. I've seen that on somewhere. Might have been on a birth certificate or something.
Is that right? Because she, what was I going to say? Yeah, your mother was 6, and your auntie. So you would have known Augusta Bertha, your auntie Gus.
Yes.
Mrs. Ward. She married an Alfred Ward. So you knew that family well, and they lived out at Parkhurst.
No.
Is that right?
What was that?
So your mother's sister was Augusta Bertha, and she married an Alfred Ward, and they lived at Parkhurst.
I can't hear properly because it's got two.
It's hard to hear.
Yes.
Your auntie, your mother's sister. Did you know her?
I thought she was a stepsister.
She is.
She is a stepsister.
Yes, and
she is a stepsister.
Charles and
we're steps.
And Bob, they were both stepbrothers.
That is right.
Yes.
And
well, they're the only two on Mum's side that I knew.
Was
because she was an only
child.
From
her, yes.
Yes.
And she was a Geisler.
Pardon?
Your mother was a Geisler.
Was a bridesmaid?
No, Geisler. Her original name was Henrietta. Wilhelmina Henrietta Geisler. Is that right?
Wilhelmina Henrietta
Geisler. That was her name. And then her.
Oh, I've seen it. I don't know how many times.
Yeah. That was her name. And then your grandmother remarried a Carl Schelk, and they actually had 4 kids. They had Martha, who died at birth.
Where?
Yeah, as a baby, and then they had the stepsister was August Bertha, and she married Ward, and they lived at Parkhurst. And then they had Martha, who died in the first year, and then they had 2 boys, Charlie, and Bob.
And Bob, yeah.
Bob is my grandfather.
Oh yes.
But he died long before I was born.
Well, Charles, didn't he marry Kitty Schelks?
No, Keith. No, Kitty Schelks. Do you know Kit?
Pardon?
Do you know Kitty Kitty Ward? Kitty Ware?
Kitty Schelks.
Kitty?
Yeah, Kitty Schelks married Keith Schelks.
Yes.
Yes, well, Kitty and Keith. Well, Keith is my uncle, my dad's brother, younger brother. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know really much Well, I know some, but I don't know a whole lot about the family because
Yeah.
Mum never talked about them.
Yeah. So you were a lot older than my dad.
Pardon?
You were a lot older. You were growing up when they were little kids.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
they're a lot older.
yes,
Yeah, because
yeah.
your mum was the eldest in that family.
Which one?
Your mother was the eldest.
I was the oldest.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
yes,
then there was her stepsister
yeah,
was Augusta,
yeah, and then
Well-
2 stepbrothers.
and 2 stepbrothers, Charles and Bob.
Bob, yeah, I knew them.
Well, Bob is my grandfather, and he used to run cattle
Yeah,
and dairy, and
yeah.
I hear he was a pretty tough man. I don't know if you remember.
I hadn't seen either of them, Bob or Charles, for years and years. One time I used to see them quite a bit,
Yeah,
but when we lived over North Rockhampton,
yeah,
I hadn't seen them for ages.
yeah, right.
I know one of Charles's, what would you call him? Nephew, I think
Okay.
you'd call him. He belongs to Kitty and
Yeah, that's Keith.
yes.
Well, Keith has since died.
He's got
A son called Craig,
yes. That's,
and he's got, well, Keith and Kitty had 3 boys.
oh,
Lee Schelks, Raymond Schelks, and Craig Schelks.
yes.
And Craig Schelks and one of your grandsons or great-grandsons, I think, are fishing
They're fishing this weekend.
this weekend
That's
somewhere.
what's between their ears, have they, going out in this weather?
Well,
Well, that's what his mother told me yesterday,
Yeah.
so I'm assuming that's correct.
Yeah.
so